They expected chaos. They expected surrender. They expected humans to crumble when their elders fell. What they didn't expect was children, human children, armed with ingenuity, stubbornness, and raw courage, fighting like legends to defend their home. They thought we were weak. They were wrong. Before the story begins, tell me which city you're watching from. Type your city name in the comments. I want to see how far across Earth this story is reaching. Hit like. If you believe humans can survive anything, and subscribe to experience more cinematic HFY stories. Let's dive into this incredible tale. The colony of Arcadia 4 was quiet that morning. Too quiet. Its automated defenses had failed without warning, and the adults had been recalled to Earth's capital fleet on urgent orders. That left the children alone. 6-year-olds and teenagers alike, students, apprentices, and kids who had barely learned to pilot drones. Yet when the first alien scouts descended in sleek black ships, those children were ready. Not because they had been trained to fight, because humans, even children, inherit survival instinct like oxygen. At first, the aliens laughed, tiny creatures, waving sticks and makeshift shields. This will be entertaining, their leader thought. The children had no plasma rifles, no orbital cannons, no armor. What they did have was creativity. They rigged old mining carts with explosives, fashioned slingshots that could launch metal shards with devastating force, and set traps along every corridor of the colony's corridors. Young pilots in simulators, barely 12, took the colony's emergency drones and learned within hours how to coordinate them into aerial strike teams. Every hallway became a kill zone, every ventilation shaft an ambush point. When the first alien troops breached the outer perimeter, they met a storm of ingenuity. Explosions echoed down corridors, flying drones tore sensors from hulls, metal shards shredded armor. The alien commander's grin faded. These were children, and they were fighting like adults. By the third day, the aliens understood that brute force wouldn't work. They tried tactics, strategies their war games had taught them, but humans never followed predictable patterns. The children adapted. They laid decoys in abandoned classrooms, creating illusions of fortified positions. They booby-trapped corridors to collapse under the alien soldiers' weight, and at night, they used reflective panels and strobe lights to blind surveillance drones. Each small victory emboldened them. They learned fast, faster than any alien simulation could anticipate. They turned the colony itself into a living weapon. The aliens, frustrated, sent in a squadron of battle mechs, massive machines too heavy for the children's traps. It should have ended there, it didn't. A group of 12-year-olds devised a plan. Using the colony's old mining elevators, they created makeshift pulley systems and timed explosive charges. The mechs were funneled into a narrow canyon, and then the trap was sprung. Metal beams, weighted debris, and controlled detonations crushed 3 of the mechs in succession. The remaining units retreated, confused and cautious. The aliens realized something terrifying. The humans were not just fighting back, they were learning faster than they could kill. One of the older children, a 15-year-old named Mara, rallied the survivors. She used the colony's communication systems to coordinate movements, even improvising a strategy inspired by old human war simulations she had read about in school. Her voice, steady over the comms, gave hope. Every child was a soldier, every hallway a battlefield, every human instinct a weapon. By the 7th day, the aliens had taken devastating losses. Their fleet called for retreat, but the children didn't just survive. They forced the invaders to abandon the planet entirely. Arcadia 4 was scarred, but it had survived. Human children had turned the tables, proving that courage, ingenuity, and sheer willpower were more powerful than numbers and technology. When Earth's fleet returned, they found the colony intact. Children standing guard, proud and defiant. Commanders were shocked. Reports across the galaxy spread. Humans, even without adults, could fight and win impossible wars. The aliens learned a lesson they would never forget. Never underestimate a human. Never underestimate a child. Humanity thrives not because we have the strongest technology, the largest fleets, or the most powerful weapons. We thrive because we adapt, we endure, and we fight, no matter our age. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more cinematic HFY adventures. Humanity may be underestimated, but we will always find a way to survive and to win.